Have you ever wondered why you care so much what other people think about what you do and how you look and all that sort of stuff? Well, I've got some insights for you, so stay tuned and let's find out. Welcome back. Hello.
Hey, baby.
Have you ever wondered why, you care so much what other people think? Now, I suppose there's a superficial level where it's nice to be accepted. It's nice to sort of almost be complimented by other people. But more than that, there's this natural, I think, feeling of being accepted. I think going back millions, possibly, I don't know. This is not high on historical facts, this channel, but going back many years, caveman days, that kind of thing, where from the very start, humans are naturally quite tribal. We like to be in social groups and interact with other people. And back then, as is now, it was sort of beneficial because then you could hunt together and bring down a big animal rather than do it individually. The idea of being accepted as part of the group is a sort of almost like an inbuilt thing. I'm not going to go deep into evolutionary psychology, but there's a great book by an author called David Buss, I'll leave a link below, called The Evolution of Desire, and it's an amazing book. Really sort of details some, I think, modern day behavioural patterns and how they've kind of come from those caveman days really all the way through. And it's a very, very interesting read. Definitely recommend it. So I'll put a link below. Back then, being sort of tribal, being in the group, and also it's your safety as well, because if you're part of that group, there's that not only hunting for food and things like that together, but there's also that sort of safety in numbers, that protection kind of thing. Naturally, we kind of like to be in groups, social groups. Nowadays, it's still similar. We still like to belong. That's why we join clubs. That's why, when we support a football team or something like that, it's kind of, there's the supporters club. We're all kind of people of a similar interest, kind of all together. They've got that kind of love for the team all together. Any kind of club, basically, whether it's like chess or sports or arts and crafts or whatever, but it's lots of people with the same interest are naturally drawn together because of the same interest. Yeah, that was a well thought out sentence, really. Why do we like that? Well, it's kind of obvious, because being accepted as part of that group, that social tribe, if you like, is a good thing, because it means there's that feeling of sort of safety, which probably comes from years and years and years ago. But it's a nice feeling that we're accepted by the group of people, and that could be the people we work with in that team, or the office, or in the sort of the wider parts of life, like sports team and that kind of thing. And also family. When you meet someone for the first time and then you get to know them a bit more, and then you might go and meet their parents, there's that anticipation. Are they going to like me? Do I want to be accepted into their family, basically? So it's a natural thing to want to be accepted. When you get that feeling, it's a nice, that warm fuzzy feeling of being accepted, basically. See if I can say accepted a few more times. Why is this a bad thing? Well, the problem is, particularly I think these days, and I know it's very easy these days to put sort of blame on social media and that classic, almost cliched excuse of, oh, it's social media, blah blah. And probably actually before social media, it probably happened in magazines and just general media, but I think it's probably been kind of boosted on steroids now since social media, because it's much more accessible and of all ages. But the whole thing of what we should look like, or what we should earn, and what we should do as a job, and all that sort of stuff, based on what's shown to us in the media. So the classic, and it's not a particular secret, years and years of magazines of sort of, showing size zero models, and so, women are kind of put against this unfair kind of comparison of what they should look like to what actually they do look like, and actually what is healthy and that sort of thing. So that's where that's going. And now it's kind of gone, I think, even worse with, jobs, and everyone wants to be super rich and all that stuff without really doing anything. So years ago, I think if you asked kids, what do you want to be when you grow up? Kids are going to say something like, I want to be a footballer because they like playing football, or I want to be an astronaut, or I want to be a pilot, or I want to be a doctor or a nurse, or whatever. They were kind of things, they were jobs, they were, actually doing something. Nowadays, it's kind of shifted because, okay, apart from you ask any kid nowadays what they want to be a YouTuber. You ask kids what they want to be, so many of them say, I want to be famous. It's like, well, okay, famous, but for doing what exactly? I just want, just want to be famous when I have lots of money. And so the whole thing is kind of twisted. Rather than sort of saying, I want to be a famous doctor, a famous musician, I want to be a rock star, I want to be an astronaut, famous for discovering things. No, they just want the fame without the other bits. So this is kind of gone off on a bit of a tangent about sort of the downfall of society. Not where I'm going with this, but the point is that media and social media has kind of emphasised how we sort of compare ourselves to others, basically, whether that's physical or financial or career-wise. It's easy to compare ourselves to others because it's sort of there everywhere. Instagram being a classic, all the sort of Instagram models, I think, I wish I could look like that, or wish I had his money, or whatever it may be. There's that natural comparison. And the problem is that whilst we compare ourselves to others, that's hugely damaging to you. Because firstly, you're comparing a kind of very superficial aspect. So you see pictures of people and you think, okay, they've got the best life and they look the best, whatever that may be, and you naturally compare your situation to theirs.
She went to an expensive restaurant and ordered all the most expensive food on the menu.
Yes, I'll have oysters, caviar, fresh salmon, T-bone steak, well done, 2 plates of chips, lemon meringue pie, and your best bottle of lemonade.
But in reality, you don't know their situation. You just know the kind of social media side of it. I mean, they could be having the most up-tea life ever, but their social media is that's Dad's hands, by the way. They could be having the most crap of life, but social media, it's all Gucci, literally. You never quite know the truth behind it, and this is why I'm a big proponent of being yourself, being true and honest, and putting that out there, faults and all, because then you're more relatable, you're more of a real person rather than this ridiculous facade. We compare ourselves to other people, perhaps wrongly, against the kind of wrong aspects of other people, particularly if it's just all the sort of glitz and glamour and all the good stuff. When actually, your life could actually be better than theirs, but just because they're better at marketing, technically, of themselves, they sort of seem to be more interested or have a better life. Now, how does that matter what, you think? So when you switch that around, when you do something, I said back on the same idea of the social media, the sort of how it elevates and multiplies everything. When you do something, that feeling of external validation, when people like your post or comment and share it and all that sort of stuff, or how many followers you have, or how many subs you have on YouTube and views and all that stuff, it's like a massive kind of, obviously it does stroke your ego. It's a massive kind of boost, and I'd be lying, I'd be totally lying if I didn't. I'd be totally lying if I said it didn't kind of like, there's someone else has subscribed, someone's left a comment, got more views. Of course, it makes you feel good. It's not why we do it, but it's as I said in my post on Facebook the other day, I suppose, it validates what you're doing. It shows that you're doing something and other people are liking it or getting value from it or watching it and that kind of thing. And that's not literally why I do it, but it's nice to kind of get that validation. So, I'd be lying if I said no, that none of that matters, because then if it didn't matter, then I wouldn't have to really sort of publish the videos. I could just make them and then keep them on my hard drive if I didn't want some kind of, to a degree of validation from other people. Now, this is where it gets a bit muddled and grey. If you get obsessed and you put too much emphasis or importance on that external validation, that's where things get dangerous. If you sort of say put posts on Instagram and say you generally get, 50 likes on a post, just as an example, and then one day you only get 5, it's like, my life's over. What have I done wrong? What didn't they like about me? Is it because I maybe look a bit fat, or look a bit thin, or look a bit pale, or am I not wearing the right, what you start kind of destroying your whole personality and yourself because perhaps that picture was judged less popular than you normally are. And so it's like, and that's a dangerous world to get into, because then you're literally hanging your whole self-worth as a human on the opinions of other people on your superficial facade. And so that's dangerous, because again, you could be having an amazing life or an absolute life, but what you put out on Facebook, Instagram, etc., it's unlikely you're going to be this is me, I'm having a day. You're going to be like, wow, I'm having this restaurant, look at this amazing food or whatever. So you said you could be having an absolute life, but it's kind of propped up by this external validation of other people going, oh, I like your picture, and that sometimes is the only thing people have to cling on to. Yeah, they sort of hate their life so much, and they're just so like, but they kind of almost live in this great life vicariously through Instagram. That's at least propping them up. But if that then drops for whatever reason, it could be anything, bang, that's the thing that's just underpinning them. And because that's all based on it, really, it's someone's opinion on a picture you've taken, not really your life. They're not judging you, but you are judging your life on their opinion. Dangerous ground. Yes, it's obvious. You go, right, okay, don't put so much weight and importance on the opinions of others, external validation. You know, do put your posts out. If you get more likes, less likes, it doesn't matter. You know, that's fine. Great. And it's easy to get into that kind of mindset where you're going, okay, that's it. I'm fully like centered now. I'm comfortable in my own skin, my own looks, hair, age, whatever, clothes, income. This is it, and I put my posts out and people like it, they don't like it. I kind of don't care. I like it, but I don't care. I'm not putting my whole self-worth on the value of other people. And we're all good. And then suddenly, something will change that will cave that whole idea in and make you put everything on external validation again. And this could be where you're kind of in a good place, you're kind of all going well, and then maybe you meet someone and you think, okay, yeah. And suddenly all your good intentions about being yourself, being true to yourself, and just being you and being real, and not, you know, putting all your validation on you validate yourself rather than other people. You meet someone and suddenly that goes out the window. You're thinking, oh,
They like me, doesn't like me, doesn't know, yeah.
and suddenly everything you do is like your worth is based on their opinion. And it's scary how it changes in a second, and it's unbelievable. And I'm sure you can recognize this. I can recognize it. It's happened to me, and you know, I'm sure it happens all the time. And it's easy to then go down that road and not realize that it's happening, to be honest. Only if you catch yourself go, wow, you know, what happened there? You know, oh God. And yeah, if you do catch yourself, you can probably get yourself back to the safe ground again. But often or not, you don't, and you just kind of, you've got yourself into a nice good position of self-worth and self-love, and everything's good. And then something happens, whether it's, say, meeting someone or starting a new job, and you want to fit in, some sort of change in the status quo, which is never a bad thing, to be honest, but that little change, and we said we want to fit in, so you want to fit in with someone else to like you, or the new job, you want to fit into the team, or the new sports team, whatever it is, that little change, it's so easy to just drop that I value my self-worth for me, and suddenly you're like craving the opinions and the validation of others, and it's so easily done and so scary, because you go down that road and before you know it, if you do notice it, great, but often you don't, and suddenly you're back to that place again where you're putting all your self-worth on the opinion of someone else or other people. Again, that's that dangerous world again, and it's so easy to fall into. So this is a kind of a warning, I guess, but just sort of be aware of, you know, just keep awareness around that, where you're getting your validation from. Are you comfortable in yourself? Are you judging yourself based on you, and that's it, and you're your value, your self-worth as a human, as a person, as a spiritual being comes from you, and you create your own happiness and value? Or are you getting that from someone or something else? Even if you're not getting it, are you craving that validation from something else or some other people? And if it's the latter, really trying to sort of rein things back in again and get back to that kind of centered place, because it's, you know, it's not a good street to be going down if you're searching externally, because you'll never find true happiness and contentment in anything externally. That's things as well as people. There's nothing wrong with wanting stuff like that, of course, no problem. You know, I want an Aston Martin and Lamborghini as much as the next person, but I've now kind of realised that I don't need these sort of things to have happiness. It comes from here, not from other things, and also importantly not from other people. You know, you've got to have your own self-love and know your own worth in the world and value. And I'm not saying that means you don't need other people in your life, not at all, but you do, but not to give you your own happiness. So that's it for today. I hope you did get some value from this. It's quite a bit of a big topic. I might do another video on this another day, but if you did, as always, hit that like button to its nice and blue. And I've got to mention my wonderful guys, wow, my wonderful team at work, amazing people. Thank you for my birthday. Oh, look at that bad boy. So now I have to just work out where I can put it so it's in the back of shot. So I'm working on that one, guys. But yes, thank you. So remember, subscribe if you haven't. I appreciate every one of you who has. It means the world to me. And for now, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks again for watching, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do so down here. And check out my other video down here. Remember, live your best life and profit from that passion. See you next time. Bye-bye.